Hello everyone, welcome to Trend Talks. And today I have the pleasure to speak with Lorenzo Parola. He is a lawyer and partner at Herbert Smith Freehills, based in Milano in Italy. And Lorenzo is also a solicitor in the UK and assisted in some of the most innovative and complex merger and acquisition projects and transactions in renewable energy and conventional energy. He's a trainer and teacher at junior school, high school, but also at university courses. And he founded the Italian PPA Committee, a network of dedicated market parity, which brings together over 60 companies, including producers, traders, final customers, and banks. Welcome, Lorenzo.
Thank you very much, Edwin. Good morning, everyone.
The national policy to improve the incentivization of development of large-scale PV plants in Italy. How can that be improved, to your opinion?
Well, first of all, our national plan is no longer aligned with the European Green Deal. We need certainly to review the targets in a more ambitious way. But the real issue is not updating the targets, the 2030 targets. It's to make those happen. And I'm afraid to say that so far, where Italy is not moving in the right directions for a number of reasons, and we are more and more distant from the achievement of these targets.
Can you share a few of these reasons?
I think, we used to say that Italy was not really a NIMBY country, but a banana country, build absolutely nothing anywhere, anytime. Actually, I think that things have changed, particularly when it comes to renewables. And I think there is a greater degree of acceptance by local community of renewables plants, renewables facility. On the other hand, whilst the public opinion has improved towards decarbonizations, decentralization, etc., on the other hand, the public authorities are not playing their part. And right now is no longer about the opposition of local communities, but is more about the obstacles which are created from time to time by the public, by Italian public administrations, particularly, and this is quite surprising, at central level. One would think that the central government would, should be in favor, of course, of the achievement of the targets. But if you think about the breaks, the hindrances that the Ministry of Cultural Heritage is on a daily basis creating to renewables, this is, in my view, really surprising. So in these days, the biggest enemy of renewables is definitely the Ministry of Cultural Heritage, unfortunately.
And what's behind that? Can you make any guess?
I think, my personal view is that is first of all a disregard of the law, because effectively many times these authorities are creating obstacles for the development and the permitting of new plants, even in cases in which there are no prescriptions and no constraints on the relevant sites. So this behavior of creating obstacles, delaying, is the real enemy of renewables. And what I find particularly concerning is that not only we are getting more and more distance from the EU objectives, but also we are working against the 2030 agenda objectives, which have been established by the United Nations.
That sounds quite pessimistic to say. And would it still be a good time for investors to invest in new PV plant developments or to take over portfolios? Is there still opportunities?
Yeah, I think I'm quite pessimistic if I look at the present, but I'm optimistic and hopeful if I look at the near future. We just had a change of government in Italy. with the creation of a Ministry of Ecological Transition, which is also now competent for energy matters. So my hope is that a better coordination and more leadership at central level, particularly with a government led by Mr. Draghi, will finally unchain our huge potential. You know, Edwin, I'm always very surprised because Italy is a country which lacks many commodities. We have a very strong manufacturing sector, but we import most of the commodities, iron, copper, etc. But when it comes to energy, is actually an area on which we can be fully independent, you know, because the wind blows, the sun shines, we have a very good industrial tradition in the hydropower sector. And therefore, you know, I find it quite counterintuitive that we're not exploiting one of the few commodity which we have, of which we have abundance.
And talking about this change in government, Mr. Draghi has a European, I would say, mindset. Maybe he has a European. Yes. And there is this big transition, or this National Recovery and Resilience Plan, a fund for with billions, you know, for an economic relief package. Don't you think that that will have a positive impact on renewable energy development and PV in particular?
I would certainly hope so. I think that one of the main reasons why the former government collapsed was the total lack of leadership, of European mindset, and more importantly, the inability to perform, to come up with a credible plan to exploit the next generation EU resources. I think that this is possibly the main reason why Mr. Draghi stepped up. And in this vein, I'm quite optimistic, because we all know that the energy, the ecological and the digital transitions are at the heart of not just the Italian, but the pan-European recovery.
Let me dive quickly into your expertise in PPAs. What kind of trends do you see in Italy with respect to the PPA market?
Well, this seems a subject not fully related to the development of PV plants, but actually it is strictly related. And reason for that is that I see a lot of appetite on the market by developers, by producers, utilities, by traders, but also by final customers. This is something we clearly experienced in the history of the PPA committee. There are plenty of Italian successful manufacturing companies that are willing to go for a green procurement, you know, to choose a green procurement of power, because the obvious benefits that this has, not just in terms of green labeling, but also because, you know, it stabilizes the power price over a long period of time. And I see also that the finance community, the lenders community is ready to play their part. But of course, to create a market, you need a demand, and that we have a lot, but you need a supply. And the problem is, and this is why I'm saying that the two issues are related, is that PPAs and corporate PPAs will only be able to take off once we will have a credible supply side, meaning a handful of fully permitted projects ready to go. So we can spend thousands of words on what can incentivize, what can promote PPAs in the Italian market. But the answer is quite simple. We need the projects. We need the fully permitted projects. We need additional capacity.
And for that, you need the central authorities to be cooperative and support that.
Indeed.
With these wise words, I would like to thank you very much, Lorenzo, for this interview.